All right, how's it going, everybody? I'm making another update video. I think it's been 8 days since I posted that video, and my cat joined me. So I figured I'll give you a nice long view of her. I figured this was another good time to do an update video. I'm going to try to keep it short. I know I have the tendency to talk too much. So I'll actually just tell you the bullet points if you're just curious about how my recovery has been going since posting that video. So recovery has been moving along really nicely. I've been doing daily grounding exercises, which is interesting because in my last video, I said I wasn't sure how much those were actually helping me, but it turns out that what I was calling philosophy time, I was actually grounding myself and syncing up basically my thinking mind and my feeling mind kind of like in the moment. I don't know how much other, DPDR coaches talk about that, but what Harris Harrington talked about was like how there's a disconnect between thinking and feeling mind. So basically that's what I was doing every day, and I didn't realize that was kind of a grounding technique. And so basically I've been doing just, intentionally grounding techniques. I haven't been doing the philosophy time because what I realized is what I was getting out of that philosophy time was just another grounding technique, which so I kind of misspoke unintentionally there. So progress has been good. I definitely feel more in my body. It's normal for this process to take, many weeks of just like slight improvements. So the fact that I have not like fully ever gotten out of it, and just using these methods that I discovered / learned from the course, and I've seen this much improvement in just a week and 1 day, makes me feel that I'm definitely on the right track. So the last thing I'll say in this brief synopsis is that for whatever reason, weight training has been actually quite pivotal in my recovery. I noticed that I'll feel more grounded in general, but then when I add in weightlifting, I just feel so much better after, and that effect seems to stay. Like I just get an extra 5% boost or something, like something crazy. Like I just feel so much better after lifting. So I think it's a combination of like being social, seeing other people, and then also, even though I don't talk to them, just being social, and then also the just natural like endorphins you get from lifting weights and kind of pushing yourself. So that's the synopsis, which is daily grounding techniques, which is just like what everyone in DPDR coaching talks about. I thought I had like some special thing. I do think that the thing I was calling Z therapy, I do think that is like a special technique that does have its place, but it's just simply not as important as daily consistent grounding techniques. And then on top of that, of course, getting enough sleep, not having a horrible diet, though diet is less important than these other things. And then, like I said, working out has been great. So that's the synopsis. And then now I'm going to get more, more deep into everything. So I actually have a chart for my depersonalization log that I've been keeping since 3/14/23. So that's 15 days ago. And that has basically just indicated that I've been seeing progressive improvements. And I actually encourage anyone watching this who's trying to recover to also have a DP log. because it's really easy to forget like how bad things were if you are improving. So you can just start taking things for granted, like how you feel. You could feel way better than you did 2 weeks ago, but you just take it for granted that you've always felt this way, which isn't the case. So I recommend doing that. And yeah, like I said, progress has been steadily, slow and steady for the last 2 weeks for me. The next thing is that I talked about Harris Harrington, obviously. So my thoughts on him is that I think everything he says is right. I've never heard him say anything that I disagreed with, that like didn't align with what I'd learned about my own life and like depersonalization and everything. But I do think he overemphasizes like family stuff. Not to say that it's wrong. Like I'm again emphasizing it. I don't think it's wrong, but I think it's less important than just daily like grounding techniques and stuff. Like unless you had like very traumatic upbringing that still bothers you to this day, it's probably not that important. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but for me, again, the only thing that's really been consistent that's been helping me is like just staying present, not dissociating, and just doing that as much as possible and grounding myself as much as possible. And yeah, the work that, like, if anyone were to buy Harris's course, I think all of his stuff is good and right. It's just that, again, I think he overemphasizes like family systems and stuff. And like yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. So anyway, regarding like teachers of DPDR and stuff, I've had people mention Jordan Hardgrave in my comments, and like someone I've been talking to, and so I just wanted to like say quickly that I like what he has to say. I think he's like, everything that he says makes sense to me, and I've been watching his videos and I like him. So if Harris like doesn't gel with you, you don't want to buy his course, and you want some more recent videos, I think Jordan Hardgrave is a good resource for that, and I support him more than anyone else I've watched, I guess I'll just say. So then I'm going to talk about where I went wrong in the past. So about a month ago, so we're going to look at a time frame of the last 2 months. So 2 months ago, I started doing like my philosophy time, and I started working out, and I kind of started creating this system that had helped me feel so much better. And then after that first month, where I actually saw results after several weeks of doing that, I fell off, and I went back to my ground zero, being like very depersonalized and depressed again. And so I want to talk about where I went wrong with that, because that gave me a lot of hope, and it made me feel a lot better. Like I started dating again, I was working out regularly, I was working on business, and things were going in the right direction, but I fell off. So I just attribute it to two factors, which it's really simple, which was I stopped the daily exercises because I felt better, and I was like, okay, it's just going to continue. But unfortunately it did not continue. When I fell off, I stopped doing those, and I also didn't fully realize what I was doing, kind of like what I said earlier in this video of how like I thought it was important to just think about my life, but it turns out again I was more so grounding myself and just kind of like creating a narrative for my life and making myself feel okay, which I do think that's important, but basically I stopped caring about the grounding aspect. I got too oriented toward the philosophy aspect. So really what I'm saying is I stopped grounding myself daily, which I had done for several weeks. And then I also stopped training. As I already talked about in this video, training has been extremely helpful for me. And so I've been doing the grounding exercises daily, even if it's only for 5 minutes. I do think that's very helpful, much more so than not doing it at all, and doing it perfectly less often. And then more on my current routine. So, like I said, things have been improving so again, looking back in the last 2 months, things were improving at a really good rate the last time I went through this process, and they are kind of meeting those expectations again. So what I'm doing right now, in addition, so I'll just say what I'm doing right now. Basically just comes down to 3 things. One is obviously the daily exercises for grounding, which again, I do the ones that Harris Harrington created in his total integration course. Another thing I do is I'll spend at least 15 minutes kind of learning about DPDR. I think this is important for a few reasons. One of them is that you can easily just forget simple things about it if you're not learning, if you're not refreshing your mind about stuff. So like one of them is like I learned that I should just do my grounding exercises even if I'm not motivated. And that just never really occurred to me. I was just like, well, I'm just tired and I'll just do it when I'm more motivated. But I was like, well, how much can 5 minutes of grounding exercise really hurt me? And I learned that by watching some random dude who was talking about it. I don't even remember his name. It wasn't Jordan Hardgrave, but basically the point I'm making is that I study something every day. Obviously, right now the focus of my life is depersonalization, getting over that. But I do think it's just a good habit in general. It's like whatever you're trying to improve at, studying a little bit every day is very, very beneficial for that. So I do daily exercises for that, for DPDR. I study a little bit, so I'll watch at least a video on DPDR, maybe a recovery story, just to, again, just slightly improve my knowledge base, which has been really helpful. And I just started re-implementing weight training, which has been, frankly, pivotal. It's been so helpful for improving my mood. Just to give an example, so like over the last 2 days, I've just been like really tired in general. Obviously that's due to the conditions, DPDR and like depression and everything. But after I get done weight training, I have so much more like happiness and joy, and like I feel so much lighter that I even like want to play video games and stuff, where I usually just want to sit and do nothing because I'm like so tired and depressed. So those are the 3 things I've been doing: studying, grounding exercises, and then physical exercise. So I hope that you can learn from this, and I wish everyone the best. And here's a final shot of the kitty.